I mean, from personal motivation, it's improved to be in organization and government level. The countries try to espionage each other, and I'd like to mention a famous event that happened from a couple years in 2014 when US tried to espionage Germany. So it's a jump from the personal, motivation to country level by using more competitor and activities. Then it's improved to be national security. Country want to protect their assets, their country. And broadcasting the coming event by using more sophisticated, tools, national state act and targeted attack. Now, returning back to individual attack, I mean, just a small question. Just imagine with us, which one from these are more dangerous, more dangerous for our organization? The thief that's come from specific windows, and we know the source of the thief, or the hacker that he set outside our organization and tried to scan for vulnerabilities, or the guy who set inside organization and you don't know its location, specific location, and he by positive or negative intention damage your system by removing removing a secret file or distributed a secret information. I mean, by default, I think the last one is more dangerous. Why? Because for the first reason that you don't know the position, the location of this guy, and the second thing that he know everything about you, about the organization. So we can imagine, we must try our best to put our money on something to invent the human more than inventing. I mean, technology is important, but we need to spend more money in a human being. Cybersecurity in general, it's split to 3 factors: the organization, which it has rules, policies, and which it uses technology to increase its products, to secure its system, and the third component, people, which is in organization, working in an organization using tools and technologies. Most important things, as I mentioned before, that the people, the guys inside your organization who use your technology, who create your organization features. In 2015, IBM found or make a study regarding which one is the most important or the most reason for hacking or corrupting our system. They found that around 80% of reasons that damage the system are by human mistakes. Also, UK University Organization in 2014 quoted that the security of the system is dependent on the people that use them. Institutional assessment of risk and implementation of secure practices rely on shared understanding of the threat and challenging facing the institutions, which mean that the human being is the most important role. It play more important role in the organization. And in also 2014, they indicate also that IT administrator and more than 80% of IT administrator and security professional say or indicate that the carelessness is the main reason for destroy the system organization. Now let us see what is the main factors of a human what are the main dimensions of a human factor? Researchers indicate that the human factor split to 5-dimensional error with respect to technology: omission, commission, extraneous act, sequence act, and time error. Through the next slide, I will describe each one in detail. To make this information applicable to audience, we make a study that study a local oil industry through making survey that depend on 5 segments: gender, age, employment type, education, employment grade. Now, let us now going to the first dimension of our study, omission, which means that people forget to perform a necessary action, such as changing password frequently or scanning. They forget to scanning removable hard disk or flash memory. By running this dimension, just before I describe the conclusion, the results, I want to describe the table for you. This is the 5 segments that I mentioned before: gender, age, employment type, education levels, and grade. And we split the result to 3 columns. Educated, which means we got a positive results. Partially educated, 50% of the results are good, positive, the other are negative. Not educated, which means the answer was negative. By running the omission, we discovered that in all companies that male are more educated. Regarding the age, 50 and above are less educated. For employment type, the contractor are more educated. For education level, less than diploma employee are less educated. For grade, we discovered that more than 60% of management need to be educated. Moving to the second dimension, which is commission, we by commission that people forget to perform that people perform an incorrect procedure or action, such as writing down your secret information. And by the way, this is not imagined. This is the true. Just I want to mention something because before I continue my study, I was employee in one of the sensitive ministry in Kuwait, and I was working in network and this stuff. And through walking behind the department, I found many employees, they put a yellow stickers and they write the password on the monitor. So I was surprising how they do that one. I mean, just as they say, come to hack me. So strange. I mean, this is famous habit happen. Also, one of the measurement for the commission that enabling cookies and other access from external program or source. By running this dimension, we discovered that male also are more educated. Age is not impacting the behavior. Others are more educated. Doctoral level are less educated, less than the average. This means the less educated people, more than 50% for grade 10 or less need to be more educated. Moving to the third one, Extranet Act, which mean, but before we explain it, I'd like to share this video with you.
With so many passwords to remember, it's important to choose them wisely, and there's this data company that just released the worst passwords of 2012. So as a public service, I thought that we could all take a look together. Let's see the #1 worst password. The worst password is password. No wonder the Chinese know all our secrets. Be honest, because you know you'll change it. How many people here use the word password as your password? You're just asking to get hacked. Your password is password, and you're raising your hands on national television. Don't you people watch Homeland? My password isn't much better. It's a tricky one because I use numbers. Mine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see the second worst password. Oh.
So this is one of the Extranet Acts, which using common and simple password for all our account. So Extranet Act, which involved doing something unnecessary, such using common simple password for all accounts, or enabling some feature to facilitate specific tasks, like enabling remembering my password or remembering my email. By running the electronic acts, we discovered that male also more educated than female. Staff of age 20 to 3 commit more unnecessary action. Non-staff are more educated. Undefined education level are less educated, and more than 45 of senior level need to be educated. The sequential acts. Sequential act which involve doing something in wrong order, such protecting your confidential file by looking them directly after editing, or scanning the file after download them directly and before use it. These are the results. Male also are more educated. 50 and above skip the proper sequence. Non-staff are less educated. Undefined education level are less educated than other. More than 70% of senior level need to be educated. Finally, the time error. We mean by time error caused by people failing to perform a task within a required time, like logging out after the exit from the account. And this is very, very important, because if you forget or you take time to log out, you keep the session open, so you enable others to scan and to find vulnerabilities. And I like to mention for you, I mean, something happened for me when I was a student. I forget to log out. What happened? My colleague, she steal my homework. So take care. I mean, even you need to switch off your PC at the end of working day, because if you do not switch your PC, you allow to running the zombing. So you know all here are experts in security. So this is very, very dangerous. The results that also male are more educated. Age is not behavior. Employment type has no effect, also the behavior. Less than diploma level or less educated than other. More than 60% of 10 or less level need to be educated. By summarizing the dimensions, you can see, click again, please. You can see that most of the dimensions are above 50 need to be educated. Act adds omission, 58 need to be educated. Electronics Act, 52 need to be educated. Act adds commission, 51, and time error, 43. You can see here the disaster one that sequential acts, 76 need to be educated, which means investing in technology to protect your system, it is important. But I think investing in people is more important. What is the benefit for the firewall if your employee put his password in the monitor? What is the benefit of intrusion system if if I keep the session open and I do not log out? I mean, this is simple task. You need to take care about it. Here's some analysis we made it regarding the result that we got it, that more than 50% of the participated employee commit incorrect action in 4 dimensions: act of omission, act of commission, electronics act, sequential acts. Most of participated employees do not perform their IT-related task in a proper order, and also they keep the company IT system vulnerable. Male are less error in issue related to cybersecurity. Human behavior related to cybersecurity is not bounded by the age segments, and contractor staff are more to education levels is not an indication for the cybersecurity. Recognize that after this analysis, we may write some recommendations. Recognize that there is no 100% guarantee of security, but the security is split into the layer. The human being is the most important layer in the security. company needs to focus more in cybersecurity training, and they need to enforce rules to change the employee behavior toward better security, cybersecurity. Company needs to bound the daily employee behavior with cybersecurity need, awareness, education, and training, focus to change people behavior, and it is continuous effort. Establish collaborated environment to share the best practices model. Lead by examples. Make sure that action clearly demonstrated a collaborative and cooperative approach. Recognize that any successful plan must address the human factor. Finally, investing more human development is more important than investing security technology. Thank you for listening, and welcome for any question.
Am I on? Yes, I'm sure people do have questions after this presentation. Can I get a big hand of applause, please, once again, to Dr. Safaa? An amazing presentation, and I love your videos, very interactive. Does anybody have any questions for her? We've got one right at the front there. The gentleman at the front.
Let me just make sure I have it over here. Yeah, good morning. In terms of sequential acts in your slide, it wasn't clear whether you were listing the correct action or the incorrect action. So if you can clarify that in presentation.
I mean, again, just the sequential act?
In the sequential acts, you have an example of somebody downloading and then scanning and then
Yeah, most of the employee or most the guys, they download something, they run it, then they scan it. So you must follow the sequential order, the right order. You need, after directly download something, you need to scan it before use it. Most of the guys, they open it, then if they feel something happened, they scan it. Okay. So this is wrong order.
Okay, so in the slide, that was the correct order.
The slide was?
The correct order.
Yeah, the correct, we follow the correct order.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, very good.
Okay, we have a question right at the front here as well. Right at the front.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I need to focus on something. We talk about the human factor and educating people how to be very protective and keeping their passwords and their intellectual information very important. I think we need to start from the university, from the education level. We have a problem with our students. I am a faculty member at PATE. I think you are at the Kuwait University. We all have the same problem with our students. Let me remind you, 2 weeks ago, we had a major problem of students' registration courses. And this course, they found out that those students, their registration system has been eliminated. And after investigation, we found out that their password was, everybody's passing around his password to other students as they just play a toy game. And then that's what happened. And everybody, when they get angry, they go to their registration system and they delete all their records. So we have to start from the university level. The employee, when he comes to the actual level of working in the organization at these KMBC or KOC, whatever, all these petroleum industry, I think before we have to start at the university level, emphasizing the importance, how vital these data to keep up, because there are a lot of research. This is a genuine problem, not only in Kuwait, but in other countries. As you indicated in your research, they found in 2014 the human factor, and that research was done in the United States. It wasn't done in Kuwait. It was done in the United States. So they found out that it's a very serious problem that passing around the information or personal information.
Thank you. I mean, we must start not from university only. We must start by all education institute, even the high school. Yani, I'd like to remember, I mean, something happened in Avenue. I was in Avenue restaurant, and one guy, he gave an ATM card for his friend. So he shouting, he told him, what is your code, please? PIN code. And shouting, he said 355. Yani, I was surprised. I mean, we need to educate people to, from the high school institution. Even I think it is responsible for the public companies to make, awareness session for the public people, because you can consider this is a small problem, but you will destroy whole huge system. So I think we need. I want first thing to thank KNBC for giving me opportunity. To describe this critical problem, this critical area, and most of researcher when I start studying and make publish paper, they do not focus in this point. However, this is the most important point. Sometimes the ministries and the companies, they spend thousands, millions dollars, KD, sorry, for technology, but they do not spend it on the correct place. Okay, it's good to have a good firewall, a good secure system, but what about the human being? They lose, a critical point, something, a default. By the way, the survey was a simple question. Do you log out? Do you change your password? It's a simple question and default question. But unfortunately, we was surprised that they are educated people, PhD, master, even the bachelor, they lose these alphabet, in security. So I think we need to focus more in a human being, in training, and change, adapt its behavior
raising
to
awareness,
work.
I think, is the most important part in education from a very young age. Now, I've actually got a question. I know that. Does anybody else have a question, or can I ask mine? One, I think even for different companies, I think on a personal note, what is your recommendation? I think this is a subject that you're very passionate about. What is your recommendation from all of us? How frequent should we be changing our passwords? And what sort of order? Of course, we now know not to use passwords.
The solution in two ways. First solution, we need to take care about the educated training and awareness for the employee. Other important things, we need to enforce the behavior by applying some rules. I know all companies, they care about this one. For example, the system must enforce the user to log out, or it's log out within a specific period. Even the system must have some rules, like changing every week. They enforce the people to change their password. So I think we need to mix all together, training with applying rules. And not just applying, you must to punish employee if he do not follow the rules. They must have some punishment system rules to punish everybody, because he acts as a huge system. This is all company. This is the most important organization in Kuwait.
Do we have any further questions from the audience? Any further questions? Yes, we've got one right at the front here.
Excellent presentation, by the way. I can tell you're very passionate about this. I'm an analyst, by the way, and I research technologies and the use of cybersecurity. What about two-factor authentication? Because you mentioned passwords, and you just simply applying a rule to change a password weekly or monthly, it actually may contribute to a bigger problem. So are you seeing anything in terms of two-factor authentication or other means to secure other than just passwords?
Now, I said the password, for example, you have many rules. You can enforce the employee, the password, even, the secret information. What I discovered recently, that some company, they send the secret information through the WhatsApp, and WhatsApp, it's not secure. They use, simple algorithm for encrypted. We need to use the tool like encrypting, like this stuff. So the technology is important, but the behavior must be, satisfied with the technology. The behavior must satisfy with the security to keep the system secure. So the password, when I mentioned it, just for examples, there are many methods, many tools to secure the system on it, to change the behavior.
Do we have any further questions? My final question to you, Doctor, is what about record keeping? Of course, if we're now changing passwords on a weekly, on a monthly basis, what is your advice in regards to recording your passwords? mean, there's different applications now on your iPhone and everything else to actually store your password. What would be your recommendation on how we should store our passwords to remember them?
I mean, for my personality, how to store the password, I keep in a notebook, small notebook, but I write it in ciphered method. You know, I do not write it at a clear text.
Sure.
So these things, using ciphering the password, do not keep this stuff in your smart devices because most of the platform for these devices are weak. However, iPhone is a little bit strong, but you know, Android, this stuff, it is simple. In addition, if you lose the smartphone, you will lose everything for you, every password. So I think changing the password frequently. Do not write it in a clear text. This is better method to keep password even if you lose it. So I think this is this is what in my mind now. But there is of course other tools to secure
Definitely
your
not using a spreadsheet and then putting all your passwords
Yeah,
in one
but
Excel spreadsheet, which is currently what I'm doing.
Do not write it in a clear text.
Yes, okay, done. Has that been useful to everybody? Yes? Big hand of applause, please, to Dr. Safaa. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And I think a great way to spread awareness is that I'm going to share that video of the interview that's in the US, because that really does raise a lot of awareness.
Thank you.
And we now thank you for being with us, and thank you for your insightful presentation. We're now going to show a very small video, and we're going to now break for our lunch. Now, just so you guys know, lunch will be at the Royal Tent, and it's pretty much right behind where the ballroom is. So the way to go out is through the doors, and there'll be hostesses that will be guiding us to the Royal Tent. We're going to reconvene back here at 1 p.m. sharp. But I'm going to close off by showcasing a very short video. Thank you.
ID campaign made me think twice while setting my password and making my password complex, memorable. Also gave me indication not to leave my card inside the PC in order to protect my asset and KMBC asset.
IT campaigns made me think twice before setting up a new password. I learned to lock my PC before leaving my desk every time, and also never share my smart card with anyone.
I think the behavior of myself, and I think the behavior also for everyone in KMBC has been changed, especially when we are setting up new passwords. We are trying to make the passwords complex and not easy to remember. I think this will avoid the security breach to KMBC system.
Definitely, my level of knowledge has increased. My comfort level is way high now, knowing that it is not only me, everybody now in the company aware and know about IT security.
I really learn many things. It's increasing my knowledge, and I learned to be cautious with dealing with social media and internet.
I understand the security rules. I understand that we have to protect the environment in KMBC. For that, I think we should disable all thresholds that can create a breach in our security.
I remember the workshop last year mentioned about security will not be completed without you. Really, it's give us to check before we leave the office 6 or 5 things. One of them, badge, my key, and lock my PC in order to secure it.
IT security campaign enlightened me toward the security of the system. It made my behavior sharper when it comes to handling any IT issues.
Sahi is very nice traditional character. His personality always reflects anyone dealing with the computer and IT.
Sahi is a very friendly character. I learned from him many tips about IT security.
I'm sure this has made the system a little bit complicated, yet looking into the bigger picture of KMBC security, this is the right things and policy taken by KMBC.
المسؤول عن محطات الوقود أن انقطاع البنزين يرجع إلى اختراق أمني تعرضت له المحطات من قبل شخص مجهول وجاء الكشف عن هويته.
باتت الثغرات والاختراقات الرقمية هي الأخطر في عالمنا اليوم، وعلينا حسن التخطيط لمواجهتها حماية لنا ولأمننا الوطني.
Production team. Okay, can you hear me? Yes. So we are now ready for lunch. So as I mentioned, basically from the right-hand side, you'll be escorted by our hostesses that will go towards the royal tent. We're going to reconvene back in the room at 1 p.m. sharp, of course. Now, I'm being told on the way back, we've got a small little game that we're going to play. So make sure when you do come back to the room, you will be provided a coupon. Make sure you grab your coupon on the way back, and we'll see you back here at 1 p.m. Please do enjoy your lunch. Thank you.